from the OCTV studios, this is From the Third Eye. Now, please welcome your host, Hunter Parker.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of From the Third Eye. I'm Hunter Parker, your host, as always. You should know that by now, although I always make sure you know, because you never know. I could be somebody else one day, and then you'll just never know who's going to host the show. Anyhow, we are at episode 19 today. We're almost to episode 20. That'll be 2 weeks from now. I can't wait. That's going to be awesome. So today on the show, I actually don't really have a topic necessarily planned. I kind of forgot that I was doing the show, and we're actually doing the show, recording it on the 28th of December, so Saturday, because New Year's Eve, which is when we would normally record on that day, New Year's Eve, the station is closed. So I had to come in here on a Saturday to do this, but it will be published as usual on Friday, the 3rd of January is when it will be published, or, well, obviously it's already published because you're listening to it. So be on the lookout for that. But one announcement that I have regarding the show is I added a website counter at the bottom of every web page of the website, and that is so I can keep track of how many people visit the website. Not that I have to do that, of course, but I wanted to do that. So that's there. You can see that there on the website, and so there you go with that. And yeah, I know the contact page, the form is still there. Obviously, the form doesn't work anymore. I have to fix that to put the email address there for me. If you have any, questions or whatever, want to email me, I got to put that on there. But I'll probably get to that soon. So just be patient, and I'll get that done. Now, into the show today. What are we going to talk about, you may ask? Well, we're going to talk about my internet radio station, HDP Radio. Yeah, you guys probably remember I tried to do that a while back. I did WHDP Radio. Well, I'm bringing the station back, and bigger and better than ever. I took the W off the name, and it's going to be fantastic. I mean, the programming that we're going to have on there, we're going to have some old-time radio shows, back in the day, like when radio was very popular, 30s and 40s and 50s and whatever. We're going to do that. We're going to have some podcasts that we're going to feature on the station. From the Third Eye will be featured on there on its published date, which is Fridays. Every other Friday it'll be on there as well. It's going to be wonderful. Now, let me explain to you how the website goes. What's on there and what's not on there. So the website is located at hdpradio.heliohost.us. That's hdpradio.heliohost.us. It is up. That's why I gave it. The website is up and functional. Everything works. When you get to the website, you'll be landing on the home page, of course, which has some basic information about the station, what we feature, all that kind of stuff. And it also has a little form you can fill out if you want to subscribe to our listeners' mailing list. That's on there as well. And I also have a counter on that site as well. So that's also there. On the navigation bar, you have, besides the homepage, you have the link to tune into the stream, which that doesn't work yet because I haven't set up the streaming server yet and got that going. So that'll happen soon. So right now that doesn't work. You got the schedule, which the schedule lists all the programming on the station, which right now the programming will consist of Friday nights at 8 p.m., which will be, I call it the weekly feature, which means one Friday you'll get this show. The next Friday you'll get my exclusive show, The War Zone, which was going to be a podcast, but now it's going to be a radio show on the station. And then it alternates back and forth between the two shows. Saturday nights you have All Things Radio, which is a podcast about radio, format changes for radio stations, etc., etc. Really good show. And then Sunday nights you have the CBS Radio Mystery Theater, which is a old-time radio show. They do mystery programs. It ran from like 1976 to 82, I think, or something like that on the radio. So that'll be on there as well. That's all we have right now. When there's no live programming on the station, automation will take over and play copyright-free music, instrumental music, and I'm also including my AI songs from Suno that I mentioned to you guys last time. I'm going to put those on there as well. Then you have on the website, you have the broadcaster application form, which starts off with the very few guidelines that I have that you must follow. There's only 4 of them there, but they're common sense. Then you got the form you can fill out with, it'll ask for your name, email, phone number, so I can call you to do an interview with you. Things like that. What time do you want to do your show? What day? Show title, all that kind of stuff. You're also going to be asked for a username and password, which you'll use for our staff portal, which will include on that portal, there'll be information how to send to the listeners' mailing list, as well as our staff mailing list, which I haven't set up yet, obviously. And it'll also have on the staff portal the information you'll need to connect to the streaming server to do your show, and things like that. You will also have an email address at the station. So your username and password will be the same for that as well. So you'll have access to that so people can email you for your show. Now, once you apply, I will call you or email you to schedule a phone interview. We do the interview. The interview basically is just to go over your application, what you wrote down on the form, and answer any questions you may have. Then after the interview, you will get an email from me. The emails may sound automated because I'm actually going to write templates for these emails. So all I have to do when I get people is just copy and paste them. So I don't have to keep writing the same email over and over and over. So you'll get an email from me with a link to a Dropbox file upload form. That will be for your pre-recorded audition. So you'll have to record something that will be kind of like, what your show is going to be like, so I can get an idea. And then you'll upload that through the Dropbox form. And then once I listen to it, if it's good, then I will email you again to let you know that, we'll move on to the next step, which is if you're doing a live show, you'll be required to go on our test server and do a live audition. If you're not doing a live show, if your show's pre-recorded, then obviously you're not required to do that. So once you do the test on the server, then if everything checks out, you'll be on the station. You'll be sent, I'll set up your account on your email in the staff portal, and you will be able to log in and whatnot and start your show, and it's pretty easy. They're also, I'm also using a feature in Dropbox where you can email file attachments to your Dropbox account. Now, the email address that they give you is something completely random that doesn't really make any sense, but it's supposed to be that way. But you will get in your welcome email with your account information, you will get that email address in your email, so you can send me a text file of a bio of yourself. The bio can be anything you want, like what do you like to do in your spare time and whatever. And it also should include contact information on what you want to give out on the air. You'll attach that to an email and send it to that unique random email address. So it goes to my Dropbox, and then I can convert it to HTML and put it up on the website. Because on the contact page, which we're getting to now, in the for the website, now that we've covered what the application is like. Right now, the contact page just has a form you can fill out to email me. That will also include, very soon, a section where you'll get to click on a staff member's name and go to their profile page, which I will set up. That's what that bio thing is for. You're basically sending me that information. And it will have the contact information for you and whatever you include in that text file you email is what will be included on that page. Also, unlike some internet stations that I've been on, I'm going to also have a phone number set up, which will be displayed on the contact page as well, where you will be able to call me at that number, or if you have any questions or whatnot about the station. That way I don't have to give out my regular personal phone number. It comes with a voicemail, so you can leave a message. If I don't answer, I can call you back from that number. So that is something I'll be adding as well. So there's a little insight of what the website looks like, or what it's like, and how the application works. If you have any questions or would like to apply to be on the station before it launches, you're more than welcome to go to the website, hgpradio.heliohost.us, and check it out and apply. The station is set to launch in January. I'm probably going to launch the station on, my next show here will be on January 14th when I record it. So January 17th is my plan for launch. January 17th at midnight Eastern time is when the station will go on the air for the first time. Automation will play some cool stuff, and then programming will start at 8 o'clock that night, is my plan. So check that out. Now, it's time now for a segment that I like to call The Bashing Zone. And on The Bashing Zone today, it's going to be short and sweet and quick because I don't have a lot, but I do have something that I'm going to share. So yesterday, I was having some nausea and pain in my stomach. I talked to my doctor on the phone, and he suggested that I go to the ER and get checked out. and because he says, well, you have an appointment with your GI doctor next Thursday. He says, but I think you should go sooner and get checked out. I said, okay. So I went to the ER last night. I was there about 7 o'clock or so, or something like that, or a little after 7:30. And so they did the vitals and whatnot, and I went into a room, into the bed. Doctor comes in sometime later. He says he's feeling around my stomach and whatnot. He said, well, let's try this medication that we have that can help you, probably will help with the nausea and help with the pain. He says, if that works, he says, then I'll come back in to check on you, see how it goes. If that works, we'll send you home with a medication that you can take a half hour before you eat and a half hour before bed, at least until you see your GI doctor next week, to get you through until he sees you, and then if he wants to keep you on it, he can, or whatever he wants to do. I said, okay. So we did all that. The nurse gave me the medicine that I was supposed to take there. I waited for almost 2 hours. The doctor never came back. And so I talked to the nurse and I said, is the doctor going to come back? I said, I'd like to know what the plan is so I can go home. And so to make a long story short, they ended up discharging me without me seeing the doctor again. The nurse discharged me, but she's not allowed to do that. That has to be the doctor usually, but she did it anyhow because the doctor was nowhere to be found on the floor in the building. Well, he was probably in the building, but they didn't know where he was. And so, they discharged me without, I didn't even get discharge papers. So I'm like, what in the heck? I mean, so I was discharged technically. I mean, I didn't go against medical advice. I was discharged. They put it in the system. I was discharged. But I got no papers. I never saw the doctor again. And yeah, so that was kind of weird. So I told my wife when I got home, I said, that'll be the last time I go to that McLaren ER. I said, if I need to go to the ER, I says, if you're unable to take me or whatever, or you're not home and I need to go or something, I said, I'll just take a Uber to Genesis Hospital. At least I'm guaranteed good care there. So I still have no idea. Obviously, that medication he said I was going to get, obviously that never got done. So I'm not going to have that. So I'm still going to deal with nausea and pain. So, yeah, that was just interesting. Why would the doctor just do that? I don't understand. But I guess I'll never know. So, with all that said, that's going to do it for this time around. Thanks so much for tuning in as always. I really appreciate you taking the time to tune into the show every couple weeks and see what I got to offer. I enjoy it just as much as I'm sure you guys do. If you have any want more information about the show, you can visit the website fromthethirdeye.altervista.org. That's From the Third Eye, all spelled out, .altervista.org. You can go there and check it out. You can email me as well. The email address is fromthethirdeye@altervista.org. So you can email me there if you'd like. I will get that page updated so it reflects with the email address instead of the form, which no longer works. definitely check that out. And of course, remember, HDP Radio launches on January 17th at midnight is when it gets flipped on for the first time. So definitely check that out. It's going to be a blast. I can't wait. Go to the website and apply if you want to do a show on the station. People, you can apply early. That way we'll have a good schedule for when we launch. So, of course, if you want to do it at a later time, you can do that as well. That's completely up to you. So, again, thanks for tuning in. I'm Hunter Parker, and we'll see you in 2 weeks for another edition of From the Third Eye. Take care, everybody.